At 1200 sharp, God is placing something in your hands. Archangel Michael says this moment is for the chosen only. If you ignore this, you may lose the blessing. My child, my beloved, you were not supposed to see this with your physical eyes unless your name was already whispered in heaven this morning. You are the reason I was sent. You are the one we have been waiting for. And now the moment has arrived, not by accident, not by chance, but by divine instruction. At 1200 sharp, something that cannot be explained in earthly words will be put into your hands by God Himself. But the blessing is fragile, and heaven does not leave miracles in the hands of the distracted. This is your sacred window, and it is shutting fast. My child, my beloved, before I go any further, I ask you strongly with all that is holy, do not walk away. If you're hearing this, it means heaven has chosen you to hold something that others have prayed for, cried for, fasted for, and still never got. But God is trusting you, not them, you. Hear me. You may never hear a message this direct again in your lifetime. There is no repeat. There is no second window. This is why the angels are coming together around you now, because what you are about to get must be guarded. You must be alert for it, and you must move before it passes. My child, my beloved, the divine clock is ticking, and I was told by the highest authority to say this clearly to you. If they skip this moment, even by a second, they will lose what was put in their spiritual bank. This moment is not just a sign. It is not just a picture. God is not giving hints. This is real. This is spiritual. This is now. The gates of heaven are parting open for you alone, not for the crowd, not for those who talk bad about you, not for those who laughed at your pain, but for you. Because you stayed faithful when everyone else left, because you prayed in the night while others slept, because you cried in silence while others had fun loudly. Heaven never forgot. If this message is touching your spirit, like this video to activate the flow of God's favor in your life. My child, my beloved, you are being checked right now to see if you can still hear God's voice when it's quiet. To see if you answer when He speaks softly, not when He yells. Archangel Michael is not standing in front of you just to comfort you. I am standing here to tell you, because when 1200 hits, what was already written for you will be let go. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, but if you ignore this push, another person will get what was meant for your hands, and it will make the angels sad to watch it happen. My child, my beloved, we are only a few minutes away. If you haven't already, I want you to pause, breathe, and subscribe to this divine call in your heart right now. Not to a channel, but to God's frequency. Say yes to what He's trying to give you. Say yes to the thing your soul has been screaming for. If your heart is beating fast right now, it's because your spirit knows this is real. Something is being unlocked in heaven in real time, and your name is being said through the rooms of angels. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button to activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life. My child, my beloved, some people will laugh. Some will skip this. Some will ignore it and scroll past the very miracle they asked for last night. But not you, because inside, you feel it in your belly. You feel it in your body. This is not luck. God set up every second of your life to make sure you were present for this divine moment. You are not here to watch. You are here to get, to hold it, to go with it, to take it into the next part. My child, my beloved, the heavens are watching what you do in these next moments. God isn't asking for being perfect. He is asking for focus. Focus on the spiritual detail. Focus on the soft voice. Focus on the pull in your chest that says something sacred is happening. Do not pay no attention to this. There are angels who have been protecting your miracle for years, and now it is ready to be given. But only if you stretch out your hand. My child, my beloved, I was told to give one line to your spirit right now. Tell them the blessing is already formed. It's not coming, it's here. But the door will not be open always. And I have done what I was told. Now it is your time. Open your heart fully. Say yes completely. Let go of every fear that told you this isn't for you. You have been through too much hurt to lose this peace. You have gone through too much fire to lose this favor. And God would not call you here just to mock your soul. This is not a test of pain. It is a test of belief. My child, my beloved, if you have ever felt ignored, this is your proof that you are being highlighted right now by heaven. If you have ever asked whether God still hears you, this is proof that not only did He hear you, He has been planning the answer in quiet. At 1200 sharp, that quiet ends. But you must show you are alert before it arrives. My child, my beloved, the miracle doesn't need your cash. It needs your focus. God doesn't need your being perfect. He needs your surrender. You were chosen not because you're perfect, but because you're ready. You were chosen not because of your position, but because of your power. What is coming for you was already kept for you. The only thing left is your yes. My child, my beloved, I want you to hear me now as if I am sitting beside you. Because in the spirit I am. There's something sacred happening around your name. Something has been brewing in heaven that carries the smell of a long-awaited prayer, and it's finally rising to the surface. The reason you felt unrest in your spirit lately, the reason certain things have been breaking down, is because this shift is too holy to be built on broken foundations. You weren't losing everything. You were being cleared for something greater. My child, my beloved, God has chosen this exact moment because the atmosphere is now ready to host the blessing that once would have crushed you if it came too early. But now you've grown, you've endured, you've bent, but you didn't break. And that strength, that unspoken, quiet strength, is why this miracle has been reassigned to your hands. It was originally designed to go elsewhere, but you earned it in silence. And heaven always honors secret faith with public miracles. Now, as you step forward into this divine role, I invite you to declare your readiness. Type Amen in the comments below as a sign of your acceptance, as a bold statement that you are ready to step into your God-given purpose. As you write it, see yourself not as a victim of what was taken, but as an heir rising to claim what grace has already written in your name. And stay with me until the very end, because we'll be closing with a powerful prayer that will activate this release. RCTA, please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you, is not just a verse for Jesus, it is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. My child, my beloved, I want you to hear me now as if I am sitting beside you, because in the Spirit I am. There's something sacred happening around your name. Something has been brewing in heaven that carries the smell of a long-awaited prayer, and it's finally rising to the surface. The reason you felt unrest in your spirit lately, the reason certain things have been breaking down, is because this shift is too holy to be built on broken foundations. You weren't losing everything. You were being cleared for something greater. My child, my beloved, God has chosen this exact moment because the atmosphere is now ready to host the blessing that once would have crushed you if it came too early. But now, you've grown. You've endured. You've bent, but you didn't break. And that strength, that unspoken, quiet strength, is why this miracle has been reassigned to your hands. It was originally designed to go elsewhere, but you earned it in silence. And heaven always honors secret faith with public miracles. My child, my beloved, what is coming to you is not ordinary. This is not the kind of blessing that gets recycled. This is not leftover favor. This is divine inheritance. You will not have to compete for it, fight for it, beg for it, or chase it. It is being put in your hands because your spirit carries the divine fingerprint of trustworthiness. Not everyone can be trusted with this kind of favor. But God saw your tears and said, "They're ready now." If this prophetic word has resonated with you, share it with your network to activate the anointing and share the breakthrough. My child, my beloved, you have cried behind closed doors. You have lain awake while others slept, and you have whispered prayers no one heard except heaven. God counted every tear as currency, and now He's preparing to pay you back with compounded blessings. Not in the way you expected, but in ways that will redeem every ounce of pain you endured quietly. Get ready, because this blessing will not make sense to the people around you. It will not be explainable. It will be divine. My child, my beloved, I say this not as poetry, but as prophecy. God is about to put something into your hands that will shift your entire atmosphere. And once it touches your life, nothing will look the same. Not your home, not your relationships, not your finances, not your identity. This is more than a gift. It is a divine instruction being carried out through favor. The blessing is the message, and it's saying one thing: you are not forgotten. My child, my beloved, many saw you but didn't see you. Many heard you but didn't listen. But God has been paying attention from the beginning. You were not being punished, you were being prepared. This is why it's happening at 1200 sharp. Because 12 is not just a time, it is a divine number, the number of completion, the number of order, the number of governmental authority in heaven. And right now, heaven's government is backing your breakthrough. My child, my beloved, the reason you felt like giving up just a few days ago was because the enemy knew the release was getting close. The spiritual resistance always increases when you're closest to receiving. That heaviness, that confusion, that sudden sadness, none of it was random. It was a last attempt to distract you from the timing of heaven. But you held on. And for that, I was sent to confirm you made it in time. My child, my beloved, don't think you stumbled on this message by mistake. That tug in your chest is not fear. it's recognition. Your spirit recognizes my voice because you've been spoken of in rooms you've never entered. The angels have gathered your story, and today they are releasing what your bloodline never had. You are breaking generational draughts. You are reversing patterns, and everything the enemy stole from your family line is being restored in your hands. My child, my beloved, you must understand this. This blessing was not meant to flatter you. It is meant to move you. God is putting it in your hands not just for you, but for what will be born through you. Lives will shift because you said yes today. There is an urgency in heaven, and I was commanded to reach you before 1200 because if you delay, someone else will be positioned to get what you've been carrying in your womb of faith for years. My child, my beloved, this is not about being good enough. This is about being willing. Are you willing to say yes without all the details? Are you willing to get what you don't fully understand yet? Are you willing to open your hands and let God put in them something you didn't even know how to ask for? If your answer is yes, then get ready because this will be one of the most defining moments of your life. My child, my beloved, the scroll has been opened in heaven. Your name is written on it in light. The timing has been approved. The window has been opened. The delivery is on its way. And I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to stand guard over this word until you say yes. The countdown has already started. Do not miss it. Do not doubt it. Do not skip it. Because once 1200 comes and goes, the door will not open again the same way. My child, my beloved, the hour is closer than you think. You are not reading this by mistake. There are thousands who will never see what you're seeing right now because this was not meant for the crowd. This was sent to you. It was sent in the Spirit. God bypassed others to get this message to your eyes. That alone should tell you that something massive is about to touch your timeline. And the choice you make in this exact moment will determine whether the door stays open or quietly closes for someone else to step in. My child, my beloved, you have been asking God to show you a sign. This is the sign. You have prayed for clarity. This is the answer. You have cried for confirmation. This is heaven's way of whispering. It's time. No trumpet, no lightning. Just a still voice that says, open your hands. The miracle is not loud, but it is real. And if you ignore it, your soul will feel what your mind tries to forget, that something holy passed you by, because you hesitated when you should have acted. My child, my beloved, I was shown the weight of your past. I know what you've carried. I know what they did to you. I know how many times you looked at yourself in the mirror and wondered if you were enough. But listen closely now. God is putting something in your hands that will break every lie that ever tried to define you. No more guilt. No more shame. No more hiding. What's coming will prove you were always meant for more than what the world gave you. My child, my beloved, you have been asking God to show you a sign. This is the sign. You have prayed for clarity. This is the answer. You have cried for confirmation. This is heaven's way of whispering. It's time. No trumpet, no lightning, just a still voice that says, open your hands. The miracle is not loud, but it is real. And if you ignore it, your soul will feel what your mind tries to forget, that something holy passed you by because you hesitated when you should have acted. My child, my beloved, I was shown the weight of your past. I know what you've carried. I know what they did to you. I know how many times you looked at yourself in the mirror and wondered if you were enough. But listen closely now. God is putting something in your hands that will break every lie that ever tried to define you. No more guilt. No more shame. No more hiding. What's coming will prove you were always meant for more than what the world gave you. My child, my beloved, heaven is pouring oil on your name right now. And when the oil flows, doors open. But not just any doors, the ones man tried to close. You see, there were people who thought they had the power to block your rise. But they didn't realize your blessing was stored in heaven, not in their hands. They didn't know that you serve a God who doesn't need permission to bless his child. And now he's doing it publicly just like he said he would. My child, my beloved, everything is moving quickly now. Don't you feel it? The shift in the atmosphere, the whisper behind your ears, the pull in your belly. That's not anxiety, that's alignment. Your soul is answering to divine timing. You don't need to explain it to anyone. You don't need to ask for permission. All you need to do is say, God, I'm ready. Because once 1200 hits, the window will move. And if you are not where you're supposed to be, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, someone else will walk through the door with your name on it. My child, my beloved, I don't say this to scare you. I say it to prepare you. Blessings have cycles. Opportunities have spiritual expiration dates. And not every chance comes back again. Some moments are once in a lifetime movements that don't repeat. You are standing in one of those right now. Archangel Michael doesn't visit just to encourage. I visit when there is war in the heavens and a decision must be made quickly. This is one of those times, and the miracle is waiting for your yes. My child, my beloved, you need to understand that what's coming is more than material. This is not just about money, homes, or success. This is about peace. The kind of peace that lets you sleep at night. The kind of clarity that makes decisions easy. The kind of joy that cannot be faked. That's what God is giving you. Because you've survived seasons where your soul was screaming, but your mouth stayed quiet. And now God is speaking on your behalf. My child, my beloved, others thought you were weak because you didn't fight back. But what they couldn't see was that angels were surrounding you the whole time. You were never outnumbered. You were never alone. Heaven just told you to stay quiet, so the noise didn't drown your purpose. And now that the season of silence is ending, I was sent to announce what your enemies were never supposed to hear. You've been chosen for something irreversible. My child, my beloved, this is your spiritual inheritance. It's being transferred right now. I don't know who tried to make you believe you missed your moment, but I was told to tell you, your moment just started. You didn't miss anything. God was just preparing everything. And now he's watching to see if you still trust him enough to move without seeing the full map. This blessing is not for the comfortable. It is for the courageous. That is why it's being put in your hands, because your faith made you ready. My child, my beloved, you don't need to fear missing out on what's yours. But you must not delay. The portal is only open for a short time. Spiritual winds are blowing, and the window of favor is shifting. I know you feel the urgency. That's because your spirit is being awakened in real time. Every delay you've experienced is being reversed. Every closed door is being revisited. And what once said, access denied, is about to say, welcome in. But only if you're watching when it happens. My child, my beloved, when heaven decides to move, it does not ask for permission from man. It does not wait for you to feel qualified. It moves because the moment has been measured and marked by eternity. Right now, as you get these words, angels are standing around the release of your name like guards before a royal vault. The favor about to be poured into your life is not random. It has been hidden until now to protect it from contamination. It has been kept away not because you were unworthy, but because you were being strengthened to carry it. And now you are ready. That's why the release was scheduled for this hour. That's why you were told to open this at this very time. Because the anointing that is about to be put in your hands would have broken you 6 months ago. But now it will build you. My child, my beloved, God knows how tired you are. He knows how long you've waited. How many times you told yourself, maybe it's just not meant for me. But here is the divine contradiction. It was always meant for you, but it had to come at a time when you were no longer begging for crumbs. The moment you stopped chasing temporary validation, heaven unlocked permanent victory. You did not lose the blessing, you grew into it. And now it no longer overwhelms you. It fits you like a garment tailored by the hand of God. We've reached the moment where this shifts from information to activation, where you stop being a passive receiver and become an active participant in your own upgrade. What I'm about to ask you to do might seem simple, but it carries heavenly weight. In the comments below, I want you to write exactly these words: my divine upgrade is activated. Not, I hope my upgrade begins. Not, I'm trying to upgrade. Not, maybe this will work for me. God's timing responds to clarity, to certainty, to declarations made from your whole being. When you write those words, you're doing something far more powerful than leaving a comment. You're making a covenant with heaven. You're stating your intention to the Almighty. You're announcing that you're available for this transformation. You're giving permission for the process to accelerate. My child, my beloved, there are some people in your life who will not understand this shift. Do not explain it. Do not dilute it. Do not apologize for it. This blessing was not voted on by others. It was spoken by God Himself. Their opinions are not required for your elevation. What's about to hit your life is going to confuse them. That is why God is doing it privately first, through this message, so you are prepared to carry it without guilt. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the favor God places on your life. You only owe Him your obedience. My child, my beloved, I must say this clearly now, because time is running out. If you ignore this moment, you may still be loved, but you will not get what was meant for today. There are blessings that only fall on the ready. And readiness is not about knowledge. It's about obedience. If God tells you to move, move. If He tells you to pause, pause. If He tells you to believe, believe. Delay is dangerous when destiny is being delivered. And right now, destiny is standing at your door, knocking gently, waiting to be invited in. But it will not wait forever. My child, my beloved, I see the spiritual paperwork. It has your name on it. There is a golden seal at the bottom with a signature of light etched by the hand of the Almighty. This is not a maybe. This is not a possibility. This is a release. Approved, stamped, activated. But I was told to warn you, heaven cannot place a miracle in the hands of someone who refuses to open them. This message is the final knock. If you skip it, you forfeit what others have fasted for on your behalf. If you honor it, you will walk into a season so glorious it will silence every voice that doubted you. My child, my beloved, Some of the blessings that are coming to you were never yours to begin with. But God saw how others mishandled them and said, "Give it to my faithful one instead." You are being promoted because of your posture. You stayed humble when you had every reason to be bitter. You kept your heart clean when others were casting stones. You loved through betrayal. And because of that, you are now walking into an inheritance that carries more than riches. It carries justice. My child, my beloved, heaven does not move like the world. In the world, people wait for results before they celebrate. But in the kingdom, we celebrate before the breakthrough to prove that our faith is independent on sight. This is why I urge you now, begin to celebrate in your spirit. Not because you're being positive, but because you trust that what God says is already done. The evidence may not yet be visible to your eyes, but the angels can already see the shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. Your miracle has already been dispatched. Now it's about your response. My child, my beloved, the spiritual atmosphere around you is becoming too heavy to ignore. That's not pressure. That's power. That's not anxiety. That's anointing. That shaking in your heart is the echo of heaven's voice. This is not just a message. This is a moment. A divine checkpoint. A spiritual signature asking for your agreement. What you do next is everything. You are not just a viewer. You are the reason this message was created. You are the reason the angels moved to clear your path. This was designed for your soul. My child, my beloved, there is still time, but not much. The hands of the clock are approaching the moment. The angels are watching closely, and God is holding something in his hand, looking in your direction, waiting for your yes. He is not asking for perfection. He is asking for surrender. If you can surrender the need to know how, when, and why, you will step into something that cannot be explained by logic. The supernatural does not wait for logic. It waits for obedience. And right now, obedience will unlock what years of striving never could. My child, my beloved, this is your confirmation. The delay is over. The silence is breaking. The struggle has been weighed, and your reward has been cleared. What's coming cannot be measured in numbers. It will affect every corner of your existence. Even the things you forgot you prayed for will rise again in the form of blessings you never expected. Restoration will not come piece by piece. It will come like a flood, a divine wave of reversal designed to remind you, you were always the one. My child, my beloved, I must tell you this truth before the hour completes. There has been a war in the spirit over your destiny. Not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to darkness. Your presence carries weight in heaven. Every time you stood tall in the middle of a breakdown, heaven rejoiced. Every time you chose peace instead of revenge, a crown of light was formed above you. And now, that crown is about to fall into your hands. You are not just walking into a breakthrough, you are walking into your coronation. The moment your soul has been aching for is about to arrive, not by accident, but by divine orchestration. My child, my beloved, do you know why the enemy tried to bury you in silence? Because he knew that once you saw this moment, you would no longer play small. He knew you would begin to walk like the chosen one you truly are. And the truth is, you have never been forgotten. You have been preserved. You have never been abandoned. You have been positioned. And all of the pain that tried to convince you otherwise is now collapsing under the weight of God's favor. The fire didn't burn you, it purified you. My child, my beloved, everything is aligning for this moment. That is why your spirit feels like it's vibrating. The pressure in your chest is not fear, it is recognition. You are finally in sync with the timing of heaven. The enemy hoped you would be too distracted to notice, too exhausted to open your eyes, too busy scrolling to recognize the sound of a miracle entering the room. But here you are, awake, present, and marked for something unimaginable, something irreversible, something that once it touches your hands, will rewrite your story without apology. My child, my beloved, do you know why the enemy tried to bury you in silence? Because he knew that once you saw this moment, you would no longer play small. He knew you would begin to walk like the chosen one you truly are. And the truth is, you have never been forgotten. You have been preserved. You have never been abandoned. You have been positioned. And all of the pain that tried to convince you otherwise is now collapsing under the weight of God's favor. The fire didn't burn you, it purified you. My child, my beloved, everything is aligning for this moment. That is why your spirit feels like it's vibrating. The pressure in your chest is not fear, it is recognition. You are finally in sync with the timing of heaven. The enemy hoped you would be too distracted to notice, too exhausted to open your eyes, too busy scrolling to recognize the sound of a miracle entering the room. But here you are, awake, present, and marked for something unimaginable, something irreversible, something that once it touches your hands, will rewrite your story without apology. My child, my beloved, there are angels currently surrounding the very space where you are reading this. You may feel alone, but in the spirit, you are surrounded. Heaven has built a wall of protection around your promise. And that is why things started falling apart before this moment. Because what was not aligned with your promise had to be broken off. Relationships you begged for had to end. Plans you thought were perfect had to fall apart. Why? Because this next blessing cannot be shared with hands that fumbled your value. This miracle requires you to be pure, not perfect, but present. And finally you are. My child, my beloved, I saw your name written in golden ink, not typed. Handwritten, and beside it a single word, deliver. That was the instruction. Not debate, not delay, just deliver. That's why this message found you. That's why you couldn't shake the urge to open it. That's why your heart is racing as you read these words. Because heaven is delivering what was promised. And whether or not you hold it will depend on whether you believe it belongs to you. The blessing is real. The delivery is complete. Now the signature of faith is all that's needed. My child, my beloved, what is put in your hands will not just bless you. It will bless those connected to you. Your breakthrough is a domino that will start a chain reaction in your bloodline. People you haven't even met yet will one day say their lives were changed because of the decision you made today to get what heaven released. That is why this cannot be ignored. That is why I was sent. You are not just chosen, you are responsible. And heaven trusts you enough to carry what others mishandled. My child, my beloved, the clock is nearly at the hour. In the spirit, I can already see the light forming around your name. The moment of exchange is near, and once it touches your life, things will speed up. Do not fear sudden change. Do not fear when old doors begin to close. That is a sign that new ones are being opened. The wind of God is going to move through your life so quickly that you will have no choice but to let go of everything you once thought you needed. Make peace with the shifting. Make peace with the silence. because behind that silence, a trumpet is about to sound. My child, my beloved, I want you to remember something forever. The enemy doesn't attack empty vessels. The heaviness you felt all this time was not punishment. It was proof of the oil you carry. You've been called for something divine. And when the enemy tried to separate you from others, it was not because you were weak, but because he feared what would happen if you ever realized your power. But now it's too late. You've opened the message. You've felt the pull. You've heard the voice. And heaven will not let you go back to the version of you that lived in hiding. That version is no longer needed. A new you is rising, clothed in divine fire. My child, my beloved, I know it hasn't been easy. I know how often you wanted to give up. I know the nights you cried and thought no one saw. But every moment of pain, every tear, every whispered prayer was stored in heaven's vault. And today, the vault is opening. Today, the blessing you forgot how to ask for is being put gently into your hands. Not loudly, not forcefully, gently, like a whisper, like a soft light cutting through darkness. But you must get it. You must believe you're worthy. You must open your heart even if it's been broken. Because the miracle doesn't need a perfect home. It just needs a willing one. My child, my beloved, everything is shifting even now. You may not see it with your physical eyes yet, but in the spirit, things are moving like thunder behind the clouds. You are moments away from stepping into something you never imagined was for you. Doors you thought were locked are beginning to answer to your name. People who once ignored your light will now seek it. And situations that tried to hold you down will collapse under the weight of your new authority. That's what happens when heaven says, now. And heaven is saying it now. My child, my beloved, I must speak to that fear that has kept you from receiving. That voice that says you don't deserve it. That whisper that says you've made too many mistakes. Listen carefully. God does not bless perfection. He blesses obedience. And your willingness to believe right now, in this sacred moment, is more powerful than your history. The chains are falling. The shame is lifting. The accusations are being silenced. Because God has decided that you are worthy. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are to Him. My child, my beloved, I was shown a vision of you standing before a door. The door was massive. It was golden, etched with a light no man can copy, and your name was engraved in its center. But the most powerful part of the vision was this. The door was not locked. It was waiting for your hand. All this time, you've assumed you were being kept out. But the truth is, you were being invited in. And the only thing required was for you to believe that what's behind that door was made for you. Not for someone more holy. Not for someone more perfect. For you. There's more, and I hesitate only because the next line is delicate. A portion of the scroll was almost too bright for me to see. It held the name of someone who once walked away from you. Someone who either broke your heart or never had the courage to fully step in. But heaven is stirring their spirit now. And if your heart is open, if reconciliation is part of your highest good, this person may reach out again. Not as the version who left, but as someone completely transformed. The scroll says, if they open the message with grace, I will allow what was lost to be restored. But be warned. If this person returns and you are still holding bitterness, the scroll will close that chapter for good. Heaven gives opportunities, not ultimatums. You are being called to walk like royalty now, not in pride, but in dignity. You do not chase, you do not beg. You are being aligned with your divine equal. And if this person cannot match your healing, heaven has already chosen someone else to fill that space with joy that doesn't fade. My child, my beloved, the scroll has now reached its final layer. This is the part that very few ever get to witness. Heaven does not waste divine energy, and the fact that this section is now unfolding means one thing. You were chosen to hear what most people will never be ready for. The page begins to glow and vibrate with urgency. It is titled, The Seventh Day Shift. These are not metaphorical days. These are literal divine windows. If you open your heart fully to this message and claim it aloud, yes, even if softly, you will notice changes begin within 7 earthly days. Day 1, your environment will start reacting to the energy shift. People around you will become unsettled or drawn to you with no explanation. You may feel emotional or unusually calm. This is your soul calibrating with heaven. Day 2, something delayed will move. An answer, a message, a bill, a refund, a payment, or even a long-lost opportunity. Watch closely. Day 3, you'll be given a chance to walk in full alignment. A decision will arise, either to release an old habit or respond differently to a person from your past. Choose the path of growth. Day 4, the atmosphere will feel lighter. You may wake up before your alarm. You may hear your name in a dream. This is spiritual visitation. Day 5, someone will offer help, advice, or a new idea. This is not random. This is heaven sending messengers in human form. Accept it. Day 6, a door that was closed will begin to open. Whether it's communication with someone, a financial shift, or a fresh sense of peace, you will feel it without being able to explain it. Day 7, the scroll will either remain open and active in your life or begin to seal again. Heaven will ask, did they get? Did they answer? Your actions and alignment will decide. My child, my beloved, I do not say this to scare you. I say this because you are running out of time. Not because heaven is cruel, but because heaven is precise. There is a version of you 1 week from today that is either walking in peace, with divine clarity, abundance flowing toward you, or still wondering what could have happened if only you'd taken this message seriously. And I, Michael, your spiritual protector, cannot force you to choose. But I can tell you this, if you choose alignment, the blessing is irreversible. Now, hear this. If you choose to get this fully, without hesitation, then within the next 7 days, someone you've been thinking about will reach out or be brought into your path for a divine purpose. It may be romantic, it may be financial, or it may be soul-level healing. This person is not arriving to distract you. They're part of your scroll. They were written into your story long before you knew who they were. If they've already been in your life and left, they're returning in new form. If they've never entered yet, they're on the way. But you must be ready. If your heart is hardened by the past, this person will pass by. Heaven will not bring divine people into wounded energy that refuses to heal. And if you're wondering, what if I've made too many mistakes? Beloved, the scroll specifically includes a line that says, they are not disqualified by the past. They are prepared by it. Every mistake was a teacher. Every detour built strength. You didn't ruin your destiny, you refined it. Now the light is shining on you again. This is not just a message. This is a visitation. This is your name being spoken in places where miracles are manufactured. But I must also give you the final line of warning. And this may be the most important sentence I've delivered. The last words in the scroll are bold, burning, and clear. If they scroll past this, their spirit will know what they missed. It will ache, but they will remember this moment forever. Please, beloved, do not carry that ache. You have already carried so much. This message is your turning point, and heaven is waiting. Right now, say yes in your heart. Say yes aloud. Say yes in action, because the scroll is still open. For now, my child, my beloved, if you are still here, then you are the one. I was not sent to many. I was sent to one, and heaven knew who it would be. That's why every word up until now was written into the scroll, like threads of light wrapping around your soul, reconnecting the broken strands, calling your spirit out of hiding. You are not late. You are right on time. And now, at this very moment, heaven is silent, waiting for your answer. Because the file is fully unsealed. The message is complete. The blessing has been prepared. And the final step is yours. Before I seal the scroll, I must speak directly to your heart. You are not who your past says you are. You are not the opinions of those who fail to understand you. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are not running out of time. You are and have always been divinely guided, eternally protected, and spiritually crowned. The scroll did not choose you because you were perfect. It chose you because your heart refused to stay silent. You kept praying. You kept searching. And now you are being rewarded in a way that no one, not even you, expected. My child, my beloved, let me tell you the truth that ends the lies. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are standing at the edge of divine acceleration. And now that the scroll has been opened, this next chapter of your life will not be written in confusion, but in confirmation. Not in survival, but in supernatural success. Not in loneliness, but in love and legacy. Not in fear, but in faith, fulfillment, and favor that cannot be taken from you, but you must honor this moment. My child, my beloved, the blessings coming to you will not look like what others expect. They will come quietly, steadily, like rivers appearing in dry places. The people who once overlooked you will wonder how your life shifted so drastically. And they will not understand. But that is the point. Because this blessing was not designed to impress others. It was designed to heal you. This miracle is not for show. It's for strength. And once you carry it, you will walk differently. You will speak with fire. You will move with clarity. And most importantly, you will never again doubt that you were chosen. My child, my beloved, when you step into this next chapter, you will feel the shift in your body. Your spirit will recognize the peace. You will wake up and something will feel lighter. Not because life is suddenly perfect, but because God is in it now. Fully, tangibly, actively. You are no longer in the season of just surviving. You are now crossing into the season of divine restoration. The kind that makes you forget the years the locusts have eaten. The kind that makes you lift your hands in the middle of the day with tears streaming down your cheeks. Not because you're in pain, but because you finally feel free. My child, my beloved, I must remind you of something sacred. This opportunity is not common. It is not routine. It is not happening every day for everyone. It has been reserved, hand-wrapped in heaven and delivered by divine command. You are not just one of many. You are the one this was written for. Yes, others may read it, but not everyone will feel it the way you do. That heat in your chest, that stirring in your belly, that pounding in your heart, that is heaven knocking louder. And if you open the door fully, not halfway, not hesitating. The moment you do, the release begins. My child, my beloved, I have seen the enemy's file on your life. The accusations, the fears, the generational patterns, the things that ran in your bloodline that tried to wrap themselves around you and say, you'll be just like the rest. But heaven tore that file in half. The curse is broken. The cycle ends with you. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. You are set apart. And this is why the blessing is coming so strongly. Because the breaking had to happen before the building. And now you are stepping into a divine reconstruction. The version of your life that was written before the wounds, before the betrayal, before the heartbreak. The original version is being restored. And this time, no one can interfere with what heaven is doing. My child, my beloved, as the hands of the spiritual clock draw closer to the mark of 1200, all I can tell you is this: prepare your heart, prepare your spirit, prepare your atmosphere. Clear out the distractions, put your hands over your heart and speak these words: God, I get it, fully, freely, fearlessly. Because when that clock strikes, the divine transfer begins. It is not just a sign. It is not poetry. It is real. And once it's put into your hands, your life will never be the same again. No matter what others say, no matter how things appear, you will walk forward with something unshakable inside you, proof that heaven moved on your behalf. My child, my beloved, I must tell you something that may seem small, but will become everything the moment you chose to believe again. Something shifted in heaven. The very atmosphere surrounding your life began to rearrange. Delays began to loosen. Chains began to break without noise. The curse you feared would continue is losing its grip, not because of effort, but because of surrender. That's the secret. The deepest miracles are not born from striving, but from trusting. You are now stepping into the miracle that only appears when you stop trying to control and simply say, God, I give you room. My child, my beloved, I know it's been hard to let go. I know how much you've carried on your own. But the season of survival is over. The moment of overflow is arriving. You will no longer wake up in fear of what the day might bring. You will no longer panic about the unknown. Because now, what's ahead of you is no longer unknown. It is prepared. And you are not entering into it empty-handed. God is putting keys into your hands. Not just signs, real ones. Spiritual keys that unlock rooms no one can block you from. Keys that open doors no human can close. And you will walk through them without needing anyone's validation. My child, my beloved, there are people in your life who have no idea who you really are. They thought they knew. They labeled you by your past. They laughed at your silence. They whispered about your struggles. But none of them saw what God was building in you in the quiet. They saw your storms, but never your seeds. They judged your chapter without reading your story. But now, God is about to unveil what He wrote in secret. And when He does, no lie spoken about you will survive the weight of His truth. Your vindication is coming, and it will be undeniable. My child, my beloved, I was shown the blueprint, and in it, your life is marked with a divine glow. I saw the shift. The moment the miracle touches you, everything dark will begin to tremble. Not because you are loud, but because heaven will be backing you with fire. The enemies that once mocked you will fall silent. The storms that once shook you will lose their power. And the voices that once caused confusion will vanish in the presence of divine clarity. What's coming will be louder than your pain, and deeper than your questions. My child, my beloved, the presence of God is beginning to come down, even now, gently like morning mist after a night of rain. And when it settles fully, you will feel something break off of you, something you didn't even know was attached. A weight that had no name, a sadness that never made sense. It will lift. And when it does, you will finally understand why heaven waited until now to deliver this blessing. Because only now would you be able to carry it with peace. Only now could you walk forward without fear. Only now would you know, deep down, I am truly free. Before we close, share this prophetic word with someone who needs this breakthrough. Sharing will activate the anointing and extend the breakthrough to your network. 10 seconds remain. God sent a blessing in the form of a check with your name. Archangel Michael begs you, open this right now or watch it be erased from heaven's record. My child, my beloved, listen to me closely. Do not blink. Do not scroll. Do not even breathe too long before you take this moment as divine. You were not supposed to see this by accident. You are not here by mistake. A countdown has started in heaven. 10 seconds remain, and as I speak, a sacred document, a blessing disguised as a check bearing your name, is hovering between earth and heaven's approval. One more delay, one more skip, and it will vanish into spiritual dust. That blessing was not meant for anyone else. Archangel Michael is standing before the gates holding it, but he cannot protect it forever. That check has a timestamp. It has your name sealed in golden ink. And now, beloved, the seal is beginning to fade. Heaven says if you leave this moment, the ink will dry, the angels will turn, and someone else, someone who has not waited as faithfully as you, will get what you prayed for in tears. My child, my beloved, I need you to listen with the ears of your spirit. You are being called. A voice has been whispering your name since last night. God saw your loneliness when no one else did. God watched you sit in silence when the world mocked your faith. He saw you walk past closed doors, holding hope like a trembling candle. And now he has sent me, Archangel Michael, to speak to your soul. I am not speaking to your eyes. I am speaking to the ache in your chest that you hide from the world. I know you've cried behind closed doors praying for one sign, that something is finally going to turn in your favor. This is that sign. Not next month, not next year. Now, in this exact moment, a blessing is trying to land in your life like lightning, but only if you open your heart before the final second strikes. Before we continue, listen carefully. This message is sacred. Please, my beloved, if you feel even the smallest pull in your heart, subscribe or follow this message. That simple action sends a signal to the heavens that says, I'm ready to get. You don't have to understand everything right now, but when you subscribe, it means you're stepping into alignment. The spiritual realm takes that as permission to release what has been held up by delay. Do it now. Your name is being whispered in the wind of heaven, but you must answer to it before the final breath of this moment disappears. My child, my beloved, what I am about to tell you is sealed in holy truth. God has already approved your request. That breakthrough, that healing, that unexpected money, that miracle meeting, that open door, it's done. But what you didn't know is that there are forces working to erase the record. There are voices trying to argue your case in the courts of spirit, saying you're not ready, you're not serious, you're not faithful enough. But I, Michael, have stood and shouted, they are worthy. I have fought for your name to remain on the list. But now the courtroom grows quiet. A final vote is being cast, and heaven is waiting for your reaction right now. Not later, now. The way you answer in this exact second determines what comes next. If you ignore it, the blessing goes cold. If you embrace it, the ink becomes fire again, and your name is lit in God's light. My child, my beloved, you've been waiting for something that felt impossible to arrive. But what if I told you that thing is not just coming, it's already here, sitting quietly at the edge of your life, waiting for you to claim it? What if I told you that the door you keep praying for has already been unlocked, but the enemy has distracted you so long that you never noticed it open? You keep asking for signs while standing in the doorway of the answer. You're holding the key but waiting for someone else to tell you it's time. I'm telling you now, it is time. And this message is the final knock before the door swings wide or slams shut. My child, my beloved, a check with your name does not mean paper, it means favor. It means approval. It means divine compensation for everything you went through, every lie spoken against you, every betrayal, every night you stayed awake wondering if God forgot. He did not forget. He was gathering the evidence. He was counting the tears. He was preparing the package. And now it is here. I must warn you, though, there is one last condition. You must not ignore this message. If you leave it unread, the scroll of heaven will be returned to the vault. You will not even know what was written in your name. But if you say yes, even silently, even just in your heart, everything that was delayed will begin moving. The angels are ready to act, but your consent is the spark. My child, my beloved, I know you feel it. The trembling in your soul, the way this message feels like it was written just for you. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. I was sent for this one moment, and this one moment only. Because this is not just a message, it is a rescue. A rescue from delay. A rescue from depression. A rescue from the curse of almost that's been circling you. You've been so close to your miracle so many times, but watched it pass you by. That ends here. But you must not hesitate. This is heaven's final call for this particular blessing. I cannot say if or when it will be offered again. You have only seconds to spiritually say yes. Yes to the favor. Yes to the money. Yes to the healing. Yes to the love that's coming. My child, my beloved, do not let another person's doubt steal your divine moment. Do not let your own overthinking talk you out of what your soul already knows is true. What you feel right now is real. The pull, the heat. The sudden stillness in your chest as you read this. That's not drama. That's destiny speaking. Heaven has paused just to watch what you will do next. If you walk away, it all resets. But if you open yourself, truly open, something that was frozen in the spirit realm will break. You will hear news you never expected. You will find favor where there was resistance. You will see evidence within days. But it starts now, with this moment, with your choice. My child, my beloved, do not let another person's doubt steal your divine moment. Do not let your own overthinking talk you out of what your soul already knows is true. What you feel right now is real. The pull, the heat, the sudden stillness in your chest as you read this. That's not drama. That's destiny speaking. Heaven has paused just to watch what you will do next. If you walk away, it all resets. But if you open yourself, truly open, something that was frozen in the spirit realm will break. You will hear news you never expected. You will find favor where there was resistance. You will see evidence within days. But it starts now, with this moment, with your choice. My child, my beloved, I must confess something to you now. Heaven has been watching you more closely than you know. Not just in the grand moments, but in the smallest ones. When you smiled through pain so no one would worry. When you gave your last even when you had nothing. When you prayed, and no one saw the tears falling between the words. Those moments were written into your spiritual file. Those actions became your offering. And because of that, a shift has begun. There is now a supernatural reversal in motion. What was meant to harm you is being rerouted to bless you. What was stolen is being returned with interest. What was locked is being unsealed. But my beloved, God won't force His gift on you. It's being offered. It's being extended. But you must say yes, not in words alone, but in belief, in surrender, in action. Even pausing to read these words is a sign that you are near your miracle. But don't stop here. Don't hover on the edge. Leap, because once the moment passes, it may never come again in this exact form. My child, my beloved, I have walked beside kings and prophets. I have delivered messages to those who changed the world. And now I am delivering one to you. That alone should awaken something inside you. Ask yourself, why now? Why today? Why does it feel like time itself has paused while you read this? It is because a window has opened. A spiritual portal has cracked just wide enough for your blessing to enter, but it is closing quickly. If you walk away distracted, uncertain, or afraid, you'll miss what was already prepared. I don't want to see you reach next week, wondering what would have happened if you just believed. You've done that too many times before. You've stood on the edge of breakthrough only to doubt yourself back into delay. But this is different. This is not just another opportunity. This is the opportunity. 10 seconds in the spiritual realm is the same as a lifetime of favor on earth. If you claim it now, generations ahead of you will benefit from your decision today. My child, my beloved, what would you do if I told you the check has already been signed? That God's signature is already on the document. The wealth is real. The doors are real. The protection is real. But God is waiting to see if your faith matches the size of the miracle. He doesn't need you to be perfect. He needs you to be ready. The delay you've experienced wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You've been stretched, refined, and even broken, but not to harm you. It was all so you could carry what's coming without it crushing you. And now, because you endured, God is saying, release it. Give it to them. Let them taste the sweetness of reward after such a bitter season. But you must still act. You must still show up in faith. Heaven doesn't answer to hesitation. It answers to bold surrender. My child, my beloved, there is someone right now looking at your life thinking you've been forgotten. They see the silence and think you've been rejected. But what they don't know is that heaven was holding you back for a divine reveal. What they call lack, God calls hidden preparation. What they call delay, God calls sacred timing. And now, the hourglass is down to its last grain. 10 seconds. That's what's left before the shift either sets or dissolves. You must decide what you believe more, your past or your prophecy, your pain or your promise, the noise or this moment. I know it's hard. I know fear has wrapped its fingers around your courage before. But this time I'm here. Michael is here. And I am standing behind you with my wings wrapped in fire, declaring over your life that no weapon formed against your calling shall prosper. My child, my beloved, a financial miracle is not just money. It is movement. It is proof. It is God's signature on the earth that says, I have not abandoned you. That divine check is more than a number. It is access. It is the release of everything that has been tangled up behind the veil. And the reason it's taken this long is because the enemy knew what would happen if you finally got it. He tried to distract you, delay you, defeat you, but you didn't give in. And now heaven says it's time, but you must move as if you believe. You must open this blessing with the reverence of someone who knows they are chosen. You must act as if angels are watching, because they are. They are hovering right now, pen in hand, waiting to check one box, claimed or lost. My child, my beloved, if you have ever felt forgotten, unloved, invisible, this is your reversal. This is where God proves everyone wrong who said you'd never make it. He is not just about to give you something small. He is about to give you something they said you were unworthy of. A name is about to be cleared. A shame is about to be erased. A status is about to be elevated. But the mystery of God's timing is this: it's never repeated the same way. You cannot ask for the same moment to return twice. This one, this very moment, was hand-carved by God for you. A spiritual intersection where prophecy meets preparation. And I am not just here as a messenger. I am here as a witness. What you do right now will be recorded. My child, my beloved, let me speak directly to your fear. I see it. The trembling heart, the memories of false promises, the fear that maybe this is too good to be true. But that is not God's voice. That is the echo of past pain trying to hold your future hostage. Rebuke it, cancel it, cast it out, because this is not too good to be true. This is too divine to be missed. This is what happens when the heavens open and pour favor on someone who didn't give up. And yes, that someone is you. You are not cursed. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right on time. You are the one the angels are surrounding right now. And I am standing guard to make sure no one takes what belongs to you. My child, my beloved, let me speak directly to your fear. I see it. The trembling heart, the memories of false promises, the fear that maybe this is too good to be true. But that is not God's voice. That is the echo of past pain trying to hold your future hostage. Rebuke it, cancel it, cast it out, because this is not too good to be true. This is too divine to be missed. This is what happens when the heavens open and pour favor on someone who didn't give up. And yes, that someone is you. You are not cursed. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right on time. You are the one the angels are surrounding right now, and I am standing guard to make sure no one takes what belongs to you. My child, my beloved, as I continue speaking, a countdown is echoing in the spirit. 7, 6, 5. The ink on the check is still wet. It bears your name. It holds no conditions other than your belief. Your story is about to change permanently. And when people ask you what happened, all you will be able to say is, I opened the message. I believed. And heaven answered. My child, my beloved, if you only knew what has been stored up for you in heaven's treasury, you would never again question your worth. You would not shrink yourself to fit the expectations of others. You would not delay your blessings out of guilt or fear. For I, Archangel Michael, have seen the spiritual vault. I have walked through the hall where your name is written not once, but repeatedly, on scrolls of provision, on documents of favor, on records of prayers you forgot you even prayed. And I need you to understand something sacred. Not one of them was ignored. Not one cry, not one whisper, not one late night tear went unnoticed. They were collected, bottled, measured, and because of them, heaven has declared this moment a release. But the release is time-sensitive. The divine check has already been started. But if you wait too long to accept, it will be rerouted to another whose heart is open and ready. That's how spiritual delivery works. Blessings move where belief lives. My child, my beloved, the reason this message found you today is because God could not bear to see another hour pass without giving you one more divine attempt. You've had so many doors slammed. You've had people look at you and judge the outside, never knowing the warfare you were enduring in silence. They laughed when you dreamed. They criticized when you hoped. But heaven remained quiet, not because it was ignoring you, but because it was preparing the stage. What is coming into your life is not a small restoration. It is total reversal. You're not just being given back what you lost. You're being elevated to a place even you couldn't have imagined. But beloved, none of this happens by accident. It requires agreement. You must agree with heaven right now. You must mentally say yes. You must spiritually nod your soul, because angels are listening, and we need your permission to go on. My child, my beloved, I know your heart has grown tired. You've waited for years for one person to keep their word, for one promise to finally come through, for one moment to turn everything around. And now here it is. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is the moment the skies have been preparing for. But the challenge, beloved, is that the enemy has tried to convince you that divine moments come with a loud trumpet. He lied. The greatest miracles come wrapped in quiet urgency. They come hidden inside gentle nudges and supernatural timings, like this one, this message, this second, where everything you've been hoping for is in front of you like a holy envelope waiting to be opened. And you must not let your history stop your destiny. This time, you must say yes. My child, my beloved, I want to take you into a vision I was shown on your behalf. I saw your name written in glowing gold on a heavenly scroll. I saw angels standing in a line holding packages with your spiritual address on them. I saw one angel holding a large sealed check. The envelope was thick, the ink still glowing, but it was trembling in his hand. When I asked why, he said, "We are waiting for the answer. That answer is not in your mouth. It's in your spirit. It's what you do next. Whether you ignore this or lean into it, whether you open your heart wide or brush it off as coincidence. But my beloved, please don't dismiss this. You've dismissed too many divine moments because they came disguised in simplicity. This time, let yourself believe that the miracle you've been craving could really be this close, this immediate, this urgent. My child, my beloved, the blessing that is coming is not just to meet your need. It's to exceed your expectations. It is not a patchwork miracle. It is not a temporary relief. It is complete restoration. God is not only answering your prayer, He is redeeming the years the locusts have eaten, the months of survival, the silent battles, the forgotten dreams. All of it is being counted now, multiplied, measured out, and it is being deposited into your name. But if you don't accept it in this moment, if you let the enemy distract you even for another minute, you will miss the window of divine transaction. In the spirit, this is a bank closure moment. The vault doors are closing. The teller window is still open, but only for seconds. You cannot spiritually afford to delay. The moment is sacred. The transfer is real. But your yes is the key. My child, my beloved, even as you read these words, spiritual interference is trying to pull your attention. Your phone, your thoughts, your doubts, they're all part of a plan to make you miss this. But you are stronger now, wiser. This is not your first divine encounter, but it might be your most important. If you've ever asked God for proof that He still sees you, this is it. If you've ever cried out saying, "God, just give me one undeniable sign," this is it. If you've ever whispered, "Please, let me know I'm not alone," this is it. And here I am, Michael, sent to tell you that all your words have been heard, and heaven has decided you shall no longer beg. You shall no longer scrape by. You shall no longer be last. Because today, this hour, this second, you are being called first in line. My child, my beloved, even as you read these words, spiritual interference is trying to pull your attention. Your phone, your thoughts, your doubts, they're all part of a plan to make you miss this. But you are stronger now, wiser. This is not your first divine encounter, but it might be your most important. If you've ever asked God for proof that He still sees you, this is it. If you've ever cried out saying, "God, just give me one undeniable sign," this is it. If you've ever whispered, "Please, let me know I'm not alone," this is it. And here I am, Michael, sent to tell you that all your words have been heard, and heaven has decided you shall no longer beg. You shall no longer scrape by. You shall no longer be last. Because today, this hour, this second, you are being called first in line. My child, my beloved, I need you to remember something. The world has taught you to wait your turn, to sit quietly, to lower your expectations. But heaven is not the world. In heaven, obedience brings speed. Faith activates favor. And your willingness to open this message, to listen this far, is already a sign that your name has risen above the noise. You are no longer buried beneath delay. You are no longer covered in rejection. You are no longer defined by failure. Your spiritual identity is being updated in this very moment. I see angels removing old records, clearing the debt of doubt, and stamping your file with the seal of approved. That is the word heaven is using now. Approved. Approved for wealth. Approved for healing. Approved for restoration. Approved for elevation. But your final confirmation must come through agreement. This is your moment to say yes. My child, my beloved, I will not stop pleading until you understand how rare this moment truly is. There are millions on the earth, but this message was targeted directly to your soul. Heaven is not casual with time. God does not waste words. If this found you, it is because something irreversible is happening in the spirit. A portal of divine release has opened above you, but it is shrinking. As more seconds pass, the decision must be made. If you reject this message, the portal closes. The check becomes void. The angels step back, and the miracle waits again for another cycle. But if you get it, even silently, with just a trembling heart, the portal grows. The check becomes valid. The angels are released, and everything begins moving in your favor faster than you thought possible. My child, my beloved, let this be the day you look back on and say, "That was the moment everything changed." Let this message be the one you remember, not because it entertained you, but because it awakened something eternal in you. You were not born for a life of almost. You were not chosen to be forgotten. You were never meant to suffer in silence while others get overflow. Your time is now, your name is glowing. And Archangel Michael stands at the gate holding the miracle with both hands whispering, "Please, don't let this pass you by. Open it now before heaven must hand it to someone else." My child, my beloved, can you feel it now? That strange stillness in the air, that soft thunder in your spirit. That's not your imagination. That is what it feels like when heaven holds its breath. There are rare moments when the eternal crashes into the present, when the divine pauses to see if a human will say yes. This is one of those moments. Your name is echoing through the spiritual realm like a melody heaven doesn't want to forget. Even now, angels are gathering around the light that surrounds you, holding gifts, wrapped in unseen glory, waiting for your faith to give them permission. I need you to understand this isn't just about you getting money or favor. This is about divine justice. You were wronged. You were overlooked. You were used, forgotten, laughed at. And now the God of heaven says, enough. This check isn't just a blessing. It is a spiritual compensation for everything the enemy stole in silence. But you must agree with it before the signature fades. My child, my beloved, you have been surrounded by battles no one else knew about. You smiled while breaking. You served while hurting. You kept going while secretly wondering if God still had your name in his book. Let me tell you, not only is your name still there, it is glowing, it is underlined, it is circled, it is next. The divine rotation has turned in your direction. You are not being skipped this time. But I must warn you, the window of agreement is brief. Spiritual blessings do not operate like the world. You cannot delay and still expect it to wait for you forever. The check with your name, signed, sealed, prepared, is hovering, waiting. But it cannot come down without your yes. Not your hesitant yes. Not your half-hearted maybe, but your full, fearless surrender. The kind of yes that shifts realms. The kind of yes that makes demons flee. The kind of yes that activates destiny. My child, my beloved, what's written on this divine check is more than a number. It is prophecy. It carries the restoration of years you thought were wasted. It carries the provision for dreams you almost gave up on. It carries the answer to prayers whispered through tears. It carries the breakthrough that will echo through your entire bloodline. That's why it has come with urgency. That's why I, Michael, have been sent personally. That's why you feel the intensity in your chest as you read this. You are not imagining it. You are feeling the weight of divine timing. You are standing at the edge of a miracle so powerful, it could rewrite your entire future. But it cannot touch you unless you open to it. You must reach for it not with your hands, but with your belief. My child, my beloved, I know the enemy has told you it's too late, that you missed your chance, that you're too flawed, too tired, too far behind. But that voice is a lie. You are exactly where heaven needs you to be. If this message found you, then timing has not failed you. Timing has favored you. God delayed the release until your soul was strong enough to carry the weight of the blessing. You weren't late. You were being built. And now the spiritual bank has declared your name valid for divine withdrawal. But heaven doesn't force miracles on the unwilling. This blessing, this check, must be claimed. The miracle is real. The time is now. The delivery is ready. But your yes is still pending. My child, my beloved, I know the enemy has told you it's too late, that you missed your chance, that you're too flawed, too tired, too far behind. But that voice is a lie. You are exactly where heaven needs you to be. If this message found you, then timing has not failed you. Timing has favored you. God delayed the release until your soul was strong enough to carry the weight of the blessing. You weren't late. You were being built. And now, the spiritual bank has declared your name valid for divine withdrawal. But heaven doesn't force miracles on the unwilling. This blessing, this check must be claimed. The miracle is real. The time is now. The delivery is ready. But your yes is still pending. My child, my beloved, the truth is that everything you've gone through, every disappointment, every rejection, every delay, was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to sharpen you, to humble you, to prepare you. Because the blessing coming your way is too big for unprepared hands. It carries influence. It carries abundance. It carries responsibility. And God had to make sure your character could carry the weight of the crown. And now that you've passed the test, the blessing is here. Hovering, breathing, alive. But it will not come down without your invitation. Say yes, even now. Whisper it if you must. Say yes, I get what heaven has for me. That sentence alone can send angels into motion. That tiny flame of belief can light a wildfire of favor. My child, my beloved, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up days from now, and everything feels different. The heaviness is gone. The calls you've been waiting for begin to arrive. The news you never thought you'd hear shows up at your doorstep. That's not fantasy. That is what happens when a person opens to heaven at the appointed time. I have seen this over and over. But I have also seen people hesitate and lose it all. Not because they were unworthy, but because they were unsure. And I don't want that for you. I didn't fight to bring this message across dimensions just for you to say, maybe later. This is not a maybe moment. This is your miracle moment. My child, my beloved, the divine check does not come as a bribe. It comes as a birthright. You are not begging for something outside of you. You are simply claiming what was always meant to find you. What was delayed is being delivered. What was locked is being loosed. What was questioned is being confirmed. But you must not blink now. The final seconds are ticking. Heaven is asking one question. Do they want it? And your answer is more than emotional. It must be spiritual. You must open your soul and declare, yes, Lord, I am ready. I get it all. Do not let fear keep you outside the gate. You are already here. The door is opening. But the final turn of the knob is yours. My child, my beloved, if I could show you the image I see in the spirit right now, you would fall to your knees in awe. A golden envelope, a light beaming from it so bright the enemy cannot even look at it. Your name glowing on the seal, an angel trembling with excitement to deliver it, and above it the voice of God whispering one word now, not next month, not when you feel perfect, not when you have more courage, now. And the question that echoes across heaven is this: will you believe it? Will you open it? Will you get it? Or will you delay again and watch someone else walk away with what had your name? My child, my beloved, you are one yes away from a life you don't have to recover from. A life of peace, of overflow, of purpose. You are one yes away from proving every enemy wrong, from proving every delay was worth it, from living in the answered prayers of the generations before you. The spiritual check is not just for you, it's for your legacy. It is a generational transfer, and heaven wants to start it with you. This is not random, this is not hype, this is holy. My child, my beloved, if you've ever doubted whether heaven would truly choose you for something greater, doubt no more. The evidence is in front of you. You've been pulled into this divine moment because you are not just seen, you are deeply favored. Archangel Michael does not come to everyone. I am only released when the timing is critical, when the message is urgent, when the blessing is so time-sensitive that even a 5-second delay could cost you what you've prayed years for. And beloved, this is that moment. I have stood before kings and carried revelations to prophets, but today I carry a check, not of paper, but of promise, a divine order bearing your name. And right now, as this message touches your spirit, it is being scanned in heaven's registry. They are watching to see if you'll open your heart wide enough, boldly enough to say yes. I accept. I believe. I claim what is mine. Your voice may not be heard in the physical, but your soul speaks louder than words. And heaven listens to the language of faith. Now, as you step forward into this divine role, I invite you to declare your readiness. Type Amen in the comments below as a sign of your acceptance, as a bold statement that you are ready to step into your God-given purpose. As you write it, see yourself not as a victim of what was taken, but as an heir rising to claim what grace has already written in your name. And stay with me until the very end, because we'll be closing with a powerful prayer that will activate this release. My child, my beloved, I want to tell you something most people never hear. God hasn't just approved you, He has admired you. In the silence, in the nights where you felt nothing moving, in the chaos when you thought your prayers were falling into the void, He was watching, admiring how you didn't give up, how you kept showing up, how you sowed in drought and still spoke life over others. That kind of faith doesn't disappear into the wind. It is recorded, and it is rewarded. I've seen the reward. I've held it in my hands, and if I could physically hand it to you through this message, I would. But it doesn't work that way. You must answer. You must spiritually get. You must declare in this moment that you are no longer willing to live beneath your inheritance. Say it now. Speak it in your heart. This is your royal claim. My child, my beloved, I want to tell you something most people never hear. God hasn't just approved you, He has admired you. In the silence, in the nights where you felt nothing moving, in the chaos when you thought your prayers were falling into the void, He was watching, admiring how you didn't give up, how you kept showing up, how you sowed in drought and still spoke life over others. That kind of faith doesn't disappear into the wind. It is recorded, and it is rewarded. I've seen the reward. I've held it in my hands, and if I could physically hand it to you through this message, I would. But it doesn't work that way. You must answer. You must spiritually get. You must declare in this moment that you are no longer willing to live beneath your inheritance. Say it now. Speak it in your heart. This is your royal claim. My child, my beloved, what's happening right now isn't just supernatural, it's deeply personal. The divine check you are being offered carries a redemption of not just finances, but of story, of identity, of time. This check holds the apology that never came, the opportunity that passed you by, the doors that were closed without explanation. God bundled it all, wrapped it in light, and addressed it to your spirit. That is what I carry now. That is what I plead for you not to ignore. Because I have seen what happens when a person walks away from their moment. A deep heaviness returns. Not because they're cursed, but because their faith turned away too soon. And beloved, you've been through too much to miss this. You've waited too long. You've survived too much. Don't let this slip through your fingers because the enemy whispered, "It's too good to be true." The enemy is terrified that you might actually believe again. My child, my beloved, as I stand between you and heaven's treasury, I see the winds beginning to shift. When your name was mentioned this morning, a strong light emerged above your spiritual file. Heaven marked you for activation, and in that moment, your blessings that were long held, long delayed, began to stir. They have been waiting like rain clouds heavy with water, trembling over your life. And this message, this yes, is the sound that breaks them open. You don't even need to know how it will happen. The how is heaven's job, your job is belief. The moment you fully surrender and say, "Yes, I believe you, Lord," the wind begins to blow differently. Emails appear, bank doors open, people's hearts shift. Answers are sent, not because you earned it, but because you aligned with it. My child, my beloved, you don't need anyone else's permission to get this. You don't need a committee, a priest, a sign in the sky. This message is your sign, and the fact that you're still reading is the greatest proof of all. Most would have walked away. Most would have scrolled. But you stayed. You stayed because something deep in your soul recognizes truth. Even if your mind can't grasp it, your spirit knows this moment is holy, sacred, dangerous in the best way, because it threatens the life of lack you've settled for. It destroys the lie that says you'll always be behind. It replaces fear with fire. That is what this message is, divine fire, sent to burn through the spiritual ropes that have tied your blessings down. Sent to melt the barriers. Sent to expose and erase every delay, but only if you let it, only if you say yes. My child, my beloved, I feel your weariness, the tiredness of trying so long and seeing so little. But that's about to change. You are closer to your shift than you've ever been. The fact that this message found you is proof that the clock has struck. The timer is ringing. The countdown is real. What was blocked is now trembling. What was locked is now loosening. And the check, the divine promise I keep referring to, is not a metaphor. It is literal in the spiritual realm. The scroll bearing your name is glowing, and heaven is waiting to deliver. But if you do not reach for it, it will be rolled up and put back on the shelf. I am begging you now, don't make heaven wait another season. Don't delay what is fully ready to enter your life. My child, my beloved, there is someone watching your life hoping you fail. They've spoken against you in secret. They've tried to convince others that you're not worth the effort, not chosen, not called. But they don't know that I, Archangel Michael, have already rebuked their words. I have already wiped their whispers from your record. And now heaven wants to make it known, no man's opinion can cancel what God has approved. The check is being released not because man allowed it, but because God willed it. And He is waiting for your heart to agree with His decision. The second your heart lines up, what seemed impossible will become your reality. That is how quick the spiritual realm moves when permission is granted. But the miracle cannot move until the receiver says, "I believe this is mine." My child, my beloved, if you could see who you really are in the spirit, you'd never shrink yourself again. You are royalty in heaven's eyes. You are powerful beyond measure, and your name carries weight in the spirit realm. Angels are assigned to you. Prayers are orbiting you. Prophecies are hovering. But they are not activated by need. They are activated by faith. God knows your needs. He's always known. But now He wants to see your belief rise above your fear. That's what activates the system. Your belief is the key. And now that belief is being tested. This moment is your test. Will you believe enough to get what's already been written for you? My child, my beloved, as we near the final turning point in this message, understand this. Heaven will not beg forever. The offer is generous. The reward is massive. But the window is small. If you don't open your soul now, the window begins to shrink. You won't be punished, but you will feel the ache of a missed moment. I've seen that ache before. It leaves people restless, searching, wondering what could have been. But I don't want that for you. That's why I was sent. I've come to protect this moment, to shield it from distraction, to cry out with all the urgency heaven has given me and say, this is it. Say yes. Open your spirit. Let the check drop into your life before the moment vanishes. As CTA, as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. My child, my beloved, as we near the final turning point in this message, understand this. Heaven will not beg forever. The offer is generous. The reward is massive, but the window is small. If you don't open your soul now, the window begins to shrink. You won't be punished, but you will feel the ache of a missed moment. I've seen that ache before. It leaves people restless, searching, wondering what could have been. But I don't want that for you. That's why I was sent. I've come to protect this moment, to shield it from distraction, to cry out with all the urgency heaven has given me and say, this is it. Say yes. Open your spirit. Let the check drop into your life before the moment vanishes. My child, my beloved, you are now standing in the final seconds. Spiritually, you are on the edge of a divine transfer. The ledger has been updated. The ink is drying on a spiritual check that was delayed for years, not because you were denied, but because heaven was lining up everything to arrive at the perfect moment. That moment is now. This is not just a sign. This is real. The funds of heaven are about to be released. The confirmation is echoing. And as I speak, I see angels reaching down toward your life with trembling hands, waiting for your spirit to meet theirs in agreement. The second you say yes, fully, truly, boldly, your entire atmosphere will shift. People will feel the difference before they can name it. Doors will open that didn't even exist yesterday. But if you wait again, if you delay, the check will not be voided. It will be reassigned. And that, beloved, is why I've stayed here with you this long. Because you deserve to know what's really at stake. My child, my beloved, I have seen this before. The moment where a soul is on the edge of the greatest breakthrough, but their past screams too loud. The pain says, don't trust. The memory says, what if it's like last time? But this time is not last time. You are not who you were then. This isn't a false promise. This isn't another tease from life. This is a divine fulfillment. It's the moment where the years of wondering why are answered by a flood of now. Where every no finally makes sense. Where every delay becomes the exact reason for your sudden elevation. But the mystery of God is this. He always waits to see what your heart will do when no one else is watching. This is that moment, right here, right now. No stage, no spotlight. Just you, me, and the throne of God watching, waiting, hoping you will say yes before the window closes. My child, my beloved, this is where history turns. This is where timelines are altered. This is where spiritual wealth, once sealed up in the hands of others, is suddenly redirected into yours. Not because you chased it, but because you were faithful even when nothing made sense. This divine check you're being offered, though unseen, is weightier than any physical possession. It is permission to rise. It is evidence of God's judgment in your favor. It is a seal of reversal stamped in gold by the Most High. And the enemy knows it. That's why distractions are whispering even now. That's why you might feel your heart racing or your doubts rising. It's all designed to break your focus. But hold on, beloved. Hold your soul still. I promise you, this will be worth every second you've waited, every moment you've stayed faithful. Do not miss what is yours simply because you couldn't see it with your natural eyes. My child, my beloved, this message will not come again in this form. This was custom made. This was sacredly written with you in mind. Your doubts don't disqualify you. Your failures don't disqualify you. Your hesitation doesn't make you less chosen. But your silence now, your walking away, your spiritual closing of the heart, that's the only thing that can make this check disappear. God never stops loving you, but even heaven honors your decisions. If you reject the moment will pass. That's the truth. Not to scare you, but to awaken you. The door is open, but it is slowly beginning to close. You can feel it. You know this is real, so don't overthink it. Don't debate with yourself. Just say, yes, I believe. Yes, I get it. Yes, I'm ready. My child, my beloved, I am going to leave you with this final vision. In heaven's treasury room, there are many scrolls, many ledgers. But there is only one shelf where emergency blessings are stored. Blessings that have waited too long. Blessings marked urgent. Blessings that should have been delivered years ago, but were blocked. That shelf is where your scroll has been, covered in prayer, wrapped in golden chains of protection. And today, because of your faith, your hunger, your seeking, it has finally been taken down, opened, signed and assigned. The check is real, the name on it is yours, and the only thing left is your yes. My child, my beloved, I am still here. Not because heaven requires more words, but because you do. Because your soul has been through a long war, and I can feel how hard it's been for you to believe again. I stayed because I know what it took for you to keep reading. I see the wounds behind your silence. I feel the hesitation wrapped around your faith. I know how many times you've been disappointed after daring to hope. But I also see what's still alive in you. The flicker that never went out. The little voice that says, what if this time it's real? And I am here to tell you, with all the authority given to me by the Most High, this time it is. This isn't one more moment of spiritual poetry. This is prophecy in motion, and it will not wait much longer. My beloved, the longer you stay open, the closer the blessing gets. But once your heart closes, the gate will too. That's how sensitive divine timing is. That's why the angels hold their breath, because your yes is the sound that unlocks heaven's hand. Ezir CTA 3, you are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go, through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community. You can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected, high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life if you follow it. You won't just receive blessings, they will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate, early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional, but your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step, your abundance awaits.